Welcome back to the office at Whitetail Ridge, everyone. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about preparedness, the stigma surrounding the word or the lifestyle, and really honestly, why there shouldn't be a stigma at all. And kind of get this kicked off right here, I want to talk about the reason why I made this video or wanted to make this video is because I was at the grocery store updating some of my supplies that had been used out or whatever, because we eat off the shelves and we have to reload every now and then. And we typically don't go shopping, but maybe once a month, once every couple of months, because we keep pretty much everything on hand. And the woman that was checking us out actually made a comment, and she said it sort of shyly, that she goes, well, you guys look like you're pretty well prepared. And you could tell what she meant with her tone. And I said, yes, ma'am, we like to stay pretty well prepared. We like to think that we're pretty well prepared for most things at any given moment in time. And she went on to tell me about how her husband had recently left her because she liked to do the same thing, and he thought that she was absolutely just crazy out there for doing this. Now, I don't know her exact situation, and maybe it might have been something that was crazy, maybe it wouldn't have been, but judging from the woman's demeanor and whatnot, because she was a fair amount older than myself, I would like to think that she was just in good intention, preparing for her and her family. But either way, she was deemed as being crazy and then ended up in a divorce. And stuff like this is just absolutely ridiculous, because it seems to be that the vast majority of people do not understand that our government even has been, at least since 1979, when Jimmy Carter started FEMA, been urging the community, the nation as a whole, to be more prepared. And that's kind of sad, because even the government now, in a sense, certain people, certain places kind of look at preparedness as a bad thing, a crazy thing. But if you go to FEMA, and I know there's all kinds of negative stuff and conspiracy theories surrounding them, and I'll tell you right now that if you think that you're going to get rounded up and thrown into a FEMA camp just based off of the numbers that I've seen and the amount of views that FEMA gets across YouTube, I'm going to tell you, you have nothing to worry about, because there's going to be enough people rushing into those camps. They'll be overwhelmed and they won't have time to come look for you and round you up and put you in there. I mean, I like a good conspiracy theory as much as the next guy, but this is more of mine right here. And either way, if you go to the FEMA website and check it out, you can get the whole history on, where they came from, how they began, and their look on preparedness. And their look on preparedness says the whole community. Preparedness is a shared responsibility. It calls for the involvement of everyone, not just the government, in preparedness efforts. By working together, everyone can keep the nation safe from harm and keep it resilient when struck by hazards such as natural disasters, acts of terrorism, and pandemics. It goes on to explain the whole community, and the whole community includes individuals, you and me, and families, your families, including those with access and functional needs, being disabled or what have you. And it continues on saying businesses, churches, nonprofit groups, schools, and media outlets. We all need to do our part in order to be prepared. And with that said, they're listing a broad scheme of things that could be happening: natural disasters, acts of terrorism, pandemics. I mean, being prepared for any one of those things, that's not a bad thing. I don't know why anyone would consider it that. But they also had a video I want you to listen to. You're not going to be able to see it, but you can listen to it. And I'll put a link in the description below so you can go check it out for yourself, just in case you want to check it out. But this is something that they have to say. It's about 40 seconds.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. It's up to everyone to build a kit that contains the things you need to survive: food and water, medication and supplies, as well as any important documents you may need. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Be informed, make a plan, build a kit, get involved. Visit ready.gov/myplan.
Right there. It says it right there. There is no one better than yourself to prepare for your situation. So there you go. You heard it for yourself. You can go check it out. They have switched from FEMA, actually has a readiness program that is called ready.gov, which is where they're moving and migrating, it looks, a lot of their information over to. So there you have it. They're encouraging you to, build a kit. The reason why they're doing this is because, if something does happen, God forbid, whatever, that they don't have hundreds of thousands of people bum rushing the FEMA camps because they want to be able to get out and help restore order, if you will, whatever situation that may be. And I'll leave your mind to think about that however you want. But in my particular situation, I'd rather be prepared and not have to go anywhere. I'd rather be prepared and be able to take care of my family as I'm asked / instructed to do by this government agency. I mean, not that I'm into big government again here or anything, but obviously I served in the military. It's kind of in my blood to be prepared as it is. And I just don't see the idea for the stigma. I don't understand the stigma. I don't know why it's such a bad thing. I have a guy that digs me all the time because he thinks that I'm afraid, hiding on a hill out in the middle of the woods. No, I'm out in the middle of the woods because I like living off grid and I can't stand most people. I can't live amongst the animals, to be honest with you. It's ridiculous. Plus, I stay a lot healthier out here, not getting all that crap up there. But then you have, here we go, in the news today. Not that I wanted to get carried away and off into this, but this popped up and it just goes to back everything up. You're being told, be prepared, yet people think you're crazy for doing it. And here we go. National security threat that they wouldn't say anything about. Now it appears it's about Russia's plan to put a nuclear weapon in space. Okay, now everyone has their own ideas on nuclear weapons and all that sort. I can tell you right now that we have been getting told for some time that Russia is going to do something negative to us. And quite honestly, it was outlined by Putin in the interview with him and Tucker. If you didn't watch that, I would recommend taking a look at it because he outlined it and said, your government has been telling you that Russia is going to attack you today, and then it's tomorrow, and then it's the next day, and we haven't done it yet. So don't you think that's kind of crazy that they tell you this, yet we haven't done it? I mean, take that with a grain of salt. Everyone, I don't know. That's a different situation altogether. My point is that they're talking about now a possible nuclear threat. And this just goes into being prepared. And this wasn't intended to be a plug for anything, but this is something, while not actively on my mind, I would like to be in a prepared situation to where if you can't get to a quote unquote FEMA camp I'm looking more at like a hospital or something, that if there was some form of a nuclear disaster to an extent where I am alive still, I would like to be able to be prepared enough to know the masses are going to be going nuts out there trying to get treatment at hospitals. When if you took the time to do some research and pick up some potassium iodide and have it on the shelf, you can protect your thyroid from the radiation poisoning. And this bottle right here is good for one person for 6 months. And if you did that, you could buy yourself and your family 6 months worth of time to let everything settle down to where you could get to good medical attention if the situation was to arise. I'm not saying it will. I'm not particularly scared of it because, quite honestly, in my opinion, if anything nuclear happens, I'm thinking it's going to be a complete and total end. But I don't think about that on a daily basis. I'm not concerned about it. It could happen, it could not. Whatever. It's not something I think about. Not all the time, anyway. Obviously, I've thought about it at least once, but that right there buys me a window of time to where everyone's going to be rushing in, and you're not going to get in. There's going to be too many people going. So be safe and buy yourself the time. Potassium iodide is what that is. I will leave a link in the description below if you want to pick it up. I don't care if you do or you don't. It's $12 a bottle. Throw it on the shelf. Have it just in case. And what it does is it protects your thyroid from absorbing the actual radiation. If you take it beforehand, there's no evidence to suggest that it protects you until you've been exposed. So keep that in mind. Either way, what I was trying to bring to light here is that you are being actively encouraged by your government in order to prepare and stay prepared in case something like that happens. We don't know what it is. Could be a wildfire. Could be some crazy guy shoots a bomb at us. I don't freaking know. It is what it is. Everyone takes their own approach and does their own thing. I like to think that I'm prepared for most anything that could be thrown at me. And I like that. I'm comfortable with that. But I don't get all crazy thinking that I'm going to fight off some army that marches in here on me and tries to take me away. That's not a thought process of mine. That is crazy to think that you're not going to single-handedly fight off an army or anything. Either way, not trying to get carried away. I just wanted to bring that to light, and the sheer fact that there are so little views on the FEMA YouTube page as far as that goes leads me to believe that there's a lot of people that don't understand this information. So with that said, thank you for watching. Don't worry about what other people think. Be prepared. Stay prepared. Like, subscribe, comment if you don't mind, share if you'd like. But we appreciate everyone viewing. Oh, and one more thing. If you would like to join our Facebook group, I will leave a link below. It is called Missouri Homesteading and Preparedness. And that is what we do. We have currently right around like 4,000, 5,000 members. And we are growing every day, connecting farmers, preparedness-minded people, and homesteaders. So if you would like to join that, I will leave a link for it in the description below. Thank you for watching, and everyone have a great evening.